Welcome to Outside the Vault.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Ben. And today we have a very
special guest.
Phil.
Phil again. Phil, what are you doing back here?
He ran out in the last episode, but he's back. And he does look scared still.
We got a haircut. Snazzy.
Did Freddy Krueger do that?
Nice cut. Nice drip, bro.
Respect.
Ben just dapped him up just in case
I just dapped him up. So Phil wanted to talk about something, and it was a little something called why you shouldn't pursue your dreams. So we've grown up in a society, it really says a lot about society, in a culture, in a world that says you got to pursue the deepest desires of your heart and live them out. Otherwise you won't be happy. And to that we say, you shouldn't do it. Why would you do that, Zach? Why would you? Because you're not going to succeed, and you're just going to be disappointed. And even if you do succeed, you know that all famous people who are successful and doing what they thought was their dream, they are just very unhappy people who go through divorces and public trials and get canceled and all kinds of stuff. So, and then they do drugs and not every single celebrity, but a lot of them.
Johnny Depp and others, yes.
Yeah. Johnny Depp did all of those things, probably. And he was in Nightmare on Elm Street. Yes. So, man.
And Edward Scissorhands. Anyway, my friend, it's a roll of a dice whether or not your dreams will come true. It's like that
episode of Community where they roll a dice and there's 6 different possibilities.
Yes.
And maybe one of the possibilities is like the best case scenario.
But that's the 7th one where they catch the dice. But I say we use our example, Ben. Ben, what is your dream? What is your life goal?
I would love to full-time be a podcast host.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Tell me what your dream is.
No, I actually don't know what my dream is. My dream is to do so many things at one time.
Like
that you would never be able to actually have time to do all of the things.
Okay, Ben. Okay.
So if you list off the traditional ones, like everyone wants to be the lead singer of a band.
No, I don't.
But I'm not even good at singing. So
you want to be a lead singer?
That would be awesome. Yes. But it's not going to happen. So we cross that one off the list. To be the lead actor in a movie. Well, you think that's cool, but then you realize that they're just a puppet to the director who's the actual cool guy. So then you're like, well, I want to be a movie director. But I've never shot any movies or written any scripts or even really gotten that. Well, actually I have, but it didn't turn out very good. And that was when I was like 11 years old. So I don't know. Everyone did that when they were a kid. So, but the other thing is I think I just I have too many interests to pursue one interest and be so dedicated to that interest that I forsake all of the other interests that I have.
That is a common theme you have brought up about yourself. That's true. So that doesn't help at all, by the way, but pick a dream and then I'll tell you why you shouldn't follow it.
Okay. One of my dreams when I was in high school was to be a roller coaster designer. Why shouldn't I do that?
Okay. Why shouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
I actually think that's cool.
It would be sick.
Like just designing, like you be an architect or an engineer or?
I guess the thing is, as an architect, you'd more design like the theming and stuff, right? It would be because you don't design the structural elements of the ride. So I guess an engineer. But like knowing myself, it's like there's a reason I had all the opportunities in the world to go into engineering and I didn't. So it's like I kind of realized that like my love of roller coasters couldn't outweigh my hatred of math. So, or not hatred, but like, I was just one of those kids who I wasn't naturally gifted at math, and then combine that with not really liking it, and you just get like somebody who goes into nursing.
Ben, you're great.
Nursing's great. Nursing,
I'm saying you're great, really Ben. Who cares about the other nurses? It's about you.
That's true. It's just about me. And there's thousands of other nurses. Or
there's
people
millions,
pursuing nursing degrees. There's a million.
I mean, I could say the same.
But the thing is, like, somebody's dream could be somebody else's, like, thing they despise. Or, like, you want to become a doctor, and somebody else could be like, well, why would you want to become a doctor when you could just become a CEO and make way more money? And
how do you just do that, though?
That's true. There's not like a degree you
Just
get.
become a CEO.
Dude, you know what you should do? Dude,
Just like walk in.
I'm serious. Like, bro, you should just become a CEO. That would be sick.
I know we make fun. That was probably us in middle school, high school talking.
Yeah. We're like, yeah, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, bro.
But like, why is nobody out there being like, man, I want to be like a blue collar worker?
Yeah, nobody's like, I want to be a plumber.
Exactly. Or
probably
an
make good
electrician.
money. Yeah. You probably make better money as a plumber or an electrician as you do, you know, getting a business degree and then working in some like BS
Yeah.
bait
and tackle shop.
Bait and tackle.
That's where a business.
Hey, you live pretty close to a bait shop.
I do actually.
Yeah.
They bait people in.
And I call that that's a hop and joint. There's a lot of people over there usually
That's
at
true.
all times.
That's true.
It's right by a 4-way stop, so it's also hectic to get in and out.
4-way stop. Ben's favorite. But yeah, I think dreams depend. So here's my take on it. So I think if you're going to pursue a dream, you do have to drop every single other thing. That's
Yeah.
kind of how it has to go. And
does.
then but you can have secondary dreams, but they have to fit within the structure of your first dream. And your first dream has to be dealt with before you can give your attention to your secondary dreams.
That makes sense. Because, I mean, I think it seems like what you face in the cultures, there's a culture that tells you you can do whatever you want. But then you also have this like expectation to live a certain lifestyle because you were raised in it, especially if you're raised in the middle class, the upper middle class, or the wealthy class. You naturally expect that you're going to live in that same lifestyle that your parents gave you. But your parents can't just, some parents can maybe if you're wealthy enough. Most parents can't just hand you that lifestyle, nor should they probably. It's probably not going to result in great children if you just hand people stuff. Mm-hmm. People are usually good at wasting stuff that they're just handed.
It's the prodigal son. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And especially, the stereotype of the spoiled rich kid. So it does feel like you have to pick something that's like practical to like get your life together when you graduate and you're like, okay, now I have to figure out how to become an adult. So you go into something that makes sense. Like you go into engineering, you go into accounting, or a job that's like, you pay this certain amount of money. It might be a lot of money, but at the end you're going to get a degree that's going to help you make X amount of money, which is pretty good. And then you can set yourself up. But what you lose is all that time that you could be spending all of your time, if you're a musician, focusing on honing your craft, or if you're some other kind of artist, graphic designer, or like a movie maker or video maker of any kind, really, YouTube. You lose that ability because the schooling to go into those careers that are steady, they're not as sexy, but they're steady, is, it requires a lot of you because they're not just like a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's like, what's the revenue of what the cost is?
Because in order to, because you have to earn your ability to be paid as much as you get paid when you work that job.
That's
you
true.
have to learn how to do it.
I mean, that's especially the thing that I have to wrestle with is, do I really want to sacrifice like a fourth of my life to pursue my dream, And yes, of course, but sometimes no,
If it's really your dream, though, you aren't really sacrificing your life because you're using it to pursue something that you really want to do.
Yeah, but nobody's ever always in that mindset.
No, nobody is.
So sometimes it's hard, but you do have to realize, it's kind of just, it'll all come together eventually. Hopefully, every
and if
hurdle
it
you
does
pass.
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it can't be. I mean, there's so many probably movies about this where it's like somebody thinks that they want something and they pursue it, and then they don't get it, and it's like they were crushed because they didn't only put all of their like physical, like their job eggs in one basket, like this is the job I'm gonna do. It was like their whole body and soul was put in one, their whole identity. And that's usually when it gets dangerous, because when your whole identity is wrapped up in doing something, there's always something that you could lose your legs and not be able to do a ton of jobs because you don't have your legs anymore. Or like people who want to become professional athletes and are actually gifted enough to do that, they're one injury away from never being able to be a professional athlete again. So even if you have theoretically the ability to do something, it can get taken away from you at any second. So as soon as you wrap your entire identity into that thing, then you're already setting yourself up for a failure, even if you end up achieving that, which is the whole point of BoJack Horseman.
That's not what I was expecting you to say, but you're right. Yeah. You know, and your end goal can't be to make yourself happy.
No.
Because happiness isn't a job. It's not an achieved dream, you know?
Yeah. And you don't reach an everlasting state of happiness, at least not on Earth.
No.
So
It's true.
So, and nothing that you achieve will be able to get you there.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, you can't expect like your dream to solve your problems. You can't expect it to be, if you have marital problems, if you have, you know, almost said spousal problems, same thing. It's the only thing I can think of. If you have problems with a coworker, if you have problems with your son or your parents or, you know, friends, or, you know, you're addicted to something, or you can't, you know, you have something you need to work on psychologically, you can't just ignore those things and put your whole, you know, self into your dream. You're pursuing your dream and expect those things to be resolved. But that's exactly what happens. And that's what I find myself doing. That's what I find other people doing.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a thin line that you kind of have to do of like, no, I need to work on my problems and pursue my dream. And to be honest, my problems should take priority almost. And then my secondary dreams are the tertiary aspect of it.
Yeah.
And the secondary is my primary dream. And then my primary goal should be, you know, actually making sure my well-being, and, you know, that's all the mental health. I think people can take that too far too, but
right. Cause then it becomes a very like selfishly motivated thing. And you're like always, I heard some guy, he's not even like the best guy to get advice from probably, but this,
Joe Rogan.
No, it was that one alpha male influencer who's always on TikTok because he says outrageous stuff. But he did say, he was like, people go to therapists and like for 40 hours a day, or not 40 hours a day,
wow,
40 hours a week or whatever. They go for therapy lots of times. And I'm not saying therapy can be really good for some people. And it's not like, this is not to discredit therapy. But he was saying like you just talk about all your problems all the time. And that might help you work through them, but it also might just keep you thinking about like become a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're just like spiraling, and you're not really doing anything to overcome them. You're just talking about them, and like it's more complicated and nuanced than that. But the general idea of like you're just you know, it's like you can solve everything by talking is not necessarily true. So.
Although we're doing it right now.
We're doing it right now by podcasting. Aren't we hypocrites? So you have to be, I guess there's probably just balance in everything. So you have to find a way to balance all that stuff.
It's like Kung Fu Panda. It's like there's balance in everything. There literally is. Po was right. Master Oogway was right.
Master Oogway. I like that brief moment that Master Oogway was like trending. There was lots of Master Oogway memes and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I forget what they were about, but it was funny.
Dang. Yeah, no, this got deep. I really opened up myself to the world, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
We are sacrifices to the world to figure out, you know, maybe through us you can figure out, now you'll be able to fix all your problems. And then you'll just say that this dumb movie podcast I listened to was the reason.
In the most non-specific general way, they've helped me. But I mean, that's why it could apply to anyone, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with this podcast, I've realized that like if this was my only dream in life, I'd have to quit everything and do just which would.
Hey, you always talk about it though.
Would not be that smart, you know. It wouldn't really be, because podcasting's got to be one of the top 10 most difficult things to be successful at, because it's so easy to do.
Because it's one of the top 10 things people do. Top 10 things to do in the summer. Number one, make a podcast.
Make a podcast. Have you ever thought, man, I'm really smart and people should hear what I have to say?
Then you're in the 99% of people that make podcasts. The 1% are
once
already
everyone
famous
has a podcast, there's no audience to listen to any of the podcasts. It's almost like you could make a cool TV show.
That's like Syndro
like,
from The Incredibles. He wants to make everyone a superhero so that nobody's a superhero.
Right. So then you have superheroes.
Yes. So super podcasters, what would that look like?
Do you think you'd have people who listen to podcasts and then summarize the podcasts so that you knew which podcasts to listen to? They treat it almost like they were movies.
Probably for CEOs.
For C,
I could see Tim Cook getting podcasts read to him.
here's it's vegetable soup. 3 white guys talk about
What?
talk about
Phil, what do you have to say about this?
No, we're not. We already have enough of those. Let's get something different in here.
Vegetable? I'm so confused.
I don't know. I was trying to think of like the dumb names that they call. There's some podcasts that I see on like Apple that I'm like, who listens to? And they were like pushed by Apple, and I'm like, who would find this interesting? But there's got to be somebody who does.
This is so random, Ben. So there's nothing to do with what we're talking about.
That's okay.
So the licensure for Winnie the Pooh ended, and now they're making a horror movie of
saw
Winnie
this.
the Pooh, and it looks
Yeah.
so funny. I want to watch it super bad. And we have to
review
record
that one. Yeah.
I know we should talk about this after, but
No, we're doing that. So now, if you made it this far in, you know you got something to be excited about.
yes, no,
That's somebody who pursued their dreams.
it's like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That sounds like something I would do.
It sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh and Piglet killing each other. Tigger's not in it. I'm a little mad.
well because they don't. He hasn't gone to.
Yeah,
this has
probably.
some copyright thing.
So actually, Disney has its own version of Winnie the Pooh that it can use.
Okay.
So they can't. They can only use the book one. So I don't think they can put a shirt. I don't know what the rules are specifically. But Disney has their own version, and then the world now has this version. Apparently, you can only copyright something for.
Public domain, yeah. It's
But
like
you-
50 years or something.
Yeah, but like, just think when Mickey Mouse ends,
We should just look at things that are coming out to public domain and
make a movie about it.
Yeah.
Like Mickey Mouse could end sometime. Think about that. How weird that would be.
Then we make a Mickey Mouse horror movie.
Yeah. Called I don't know. The Mouse.
Mickey kills everyone in the house. Mickey Mouse kills everyone in the house. That's
Mickey
what I
Mouse
call
burns
it.
down the house.
It's like Dr. Seuss, but with Mickey Mouse, and he's like killing everyone. That's my dream, guys.
I kind of want to make a poem and then just have it. Never mind. I'll do that next time.
We'll do. What if we, for the next Outside the Vault, we both write poetry and read it on the podcast? But
That'd be so good.
We have to assign a topic. Like maybe we get. You know how we did those PowerPoints? Maybe we get somebody to like assign us a topic.
Oh, that's a good idea. Poetry.
And then we have to write poetry about it.
That would be so funny. Because I'm already thinking of some really. I would have to keep it a little bit more tame than my mind goes. Yeah.
We have to figure out how to push the boundaries, which we don't really have firm boundaries set. We kind of just know what's not a good idea to say and what is, hopefully.
Wisdom.
We're so wise in our youth, you know.
Oh man, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm just thinking that movie would be pretty amazing. Winnie the Pooh just killing some females or males.
Or anybody.
Yeah, or grandmas.
Christopher Robbins, maybe.
Yeah, or I think it's when after Christopher Robin dies,
They get upset at him.
or he left them behind, or he left or something. Yeah,
Yeah. What a terrible thing for him to do.
I know. It's like Andy, but the toys didn't do
What
that.
about when Toy Story goes to public domain?
No, never mind. Then no.
I know what you're thinking.
Never mind.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know whether we should go back on topic. I think we should just keep going off topic.
Yeah, I don't know.
We didn't really have a topic to begin with.
Ben, what's life been like lately? How have you been?
Well, I was sick for a while, and now I'm not. Yeah, maybe we should do life updates. It's the summer, working a summer job, doing fun things when I can. I wasn't watching a lot of movies, and then all of a sudden I watched a bunch in a row when I was sick, and now I'm probably going to be back to watching not quite as many movies. You can find in that healthy balance of like trying to become a movie expert, but not like, sometimes you can just overconsume. Like I feel like with music, there's one year I listened to like 400 and some albums in 1 year, and like that's just so much. And I kept up with a lot of new releases and stuff, and now you couldn't get me to like even try to listen to some of the music because a lot of it was really boring. Like it
Just so OCD that you have to listen to it all.
Yeah, I was very OCD. I'm a very OCD person, but I'm also kind of we're throwing around. It's just probably not like you probably really shouldn't do this. Like people overuse words like OCD and ADD, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I mean, OCD is like a real thing. If you have it,
if you have it, like some people have it really bad. Like they really compulsively do things.
Yeah.
And there's a movie called Swallow. I think that's about somebody who like compulsively swallows different objects.
Oh. Okay.
That's a thing.
Like
but,
vor?
Yeah, I guess it's not like vor. No, just like vor is when you swallow like weirdly. Like
No, vor is like a weird.
I wish I didn't never found out about vor. We should spare the listeners. Don't look it up.
Or do. Like, honestly, it's not terrible. It can get terrible.
But I guess it depends on what you.
Vor is just like like a chair can swallow a chair, and that's vor.
That's so. Oh.
It's just the act of swallowing. Like I saw this vor as like a teacher swallowing like a pencil,
Yeah,
and then like
so maybe
it's
kind of like
mainly animated.
Yeah, well, it'd have to be. How are you gonna pay somebody to do that?
I don't know.
It's
People get into it though. Like there's some vor fans out there.
Yes.
Did you see the new vor, man? Dude, it was so insane. That vacuum cleaner swallowed a baseball. I can't wait to see part 2.
That's gonna be great. It's coming out in theaters.
Vor the movie. Oh my gosh.
Winnie the Pooh Vor.
Piglet, no! It's really hot in this room. Ben and I get our best ideas when our brains don't receive enough oxygen.
Yeah, we are in an attic, so heat rises and it's hot outside.
Yeah, true.
And
so if anybody farted downstairs, thanks a lot.
right, the rabbits.
There's like 10
downstairs.
rabbits. Oh, yes, rabbit, Winnie the Pooh.
So they probably actually did fart.
That's true.
Rabbits.
We're inhaling rabbit stuff.
Rabbit gas.
Anyway, Ben, what else is going on besides just watching movies?
And then honestly, just taking naps, running a lot. I run, I'm trying to get up to 70 miles a week this summer.
Yeah.
I'm still only at 50 some, so I still got a little ways to go. And I'm realizing how hard that's going to be.
Time-wise?
Yeah. Well, not just time-wise, but like effort-wise.
You've already been there though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been up to 60.
Oh, you've
I've
never done
been
70?
to 70. That's a lot.
Yeah, but you got to get to a point where you just
10
stop.
miles a day.
You got to get to a point where you just not stop running. I don't think you'll do that.
But you
just
stop.
put going to more distance, and you just be content with 70.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, yeah, I probably won't go.
I mean, I would be content with 5 miles a day. I think some of the best fit people I know just do 5, but you do 10. You're an overachiever.
Well, that's because like they probably are more well-rounded and they do like more other exercises.
Maybe.
Which I could do, but like the time commitment to do running is so much that like it feels like you don't really have time, especially you work almost 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's like you already don't have that much time.
Yeah.
You're waking up at 5:30 to run some days, so.
Yeah. If it's worth it to you, though, then do it, I guess.
Yeah. How about you? What's been going on in your life, man?
Just studying. I've actually been running. You'd be proud of me. I have.
That's cool.
I just do 1 mile a day. Okay, I'm not doing 10 miles a day like you.
Do you just do it on that treadmill or do you outside?
It's a nice treadmill. It's a Bowflex.
Okay.
And it can go up and down. I try to incline it. I just do a mile. I'm trying to get it shorter each day. It's getting harder and harder. I think right now I'm at like 540 something. So I'm getting there.
Mile?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But it's just 1 mile, so I'm trying to get that to 2 miles and then under 13 minutes and then see what happens there.
Oh yeah. No,
So-
you're getting somewhere.
I'm just doing it for health.
just getting that cardio. And,
Sure, yeah, I guess. And
you told me after high school you were like, I'm never working out again.
yeah, I don't think I want to work out. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, my doctor told me to work out, so that's why I'm working out.
And it was like, I want to become a doctor, so I gotta.
I can't be a hypocrite. That's 10% of the reason, and I do feel better when I work out.
I have learned in my very limited experience in nursing school and being in the hospital that it does feel like a big effort in medicine should be put into preventative medicine. But then at the end of the day, it goes back to what we were saying about dreams and goals. Like a lot of people prioritize their dreams to the extent that they don't care about their bodies. And then your body is what
Which is where I was.
allows you to achieve your dreams.
True.
In a sense.
Yeah.
So it's like some people go super crazy into working out, but you don't really need to do that.
No, I don't want to do. I don't
No.
want to be that guy.
No, you
I
don't
really
have to
don't.
be that. You don't have to run 70 miles a week like I do. And even I eventually I'd like to reach a point when I'm not, in an active sport where I'm like actively trying to, you do the training that you have to do to run, 5 miles and as fast as you can. And then, but eventually when I'm not doing that or not doing that as much, I'd like to, get more into.
No, so I've already set my end
weightlifting.
goal.
Yeah.
I've already set it to 3 miles max a day that I'd ever do.
Right.
Just that's my goal. So if I get there, I'm not going to push further, and I'm going to have to keep myself accountable to not go further. Not that it would be tempting, because it won't be.
It won't be tempting. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, it definitely is management, and yeah, just studying and stuff. Got one when we start. I said I was studying for the MCAT many episodes ago. We've done a lot of episodes this summer. It's been fun, and now I've got 5 weeks left. I'm really dying out here. I've only seen Ben and people at my church and my family. I've seen my family every day, all day, and yeah, I'm going a little crazy. I went the most crazy I went was after month 1. Where I legitimately had studied 10 to 12 hours a day just for 5 days. I didn't do Saturday, Sunday. And oh my gosh, I was losing my mind. Reality was no longer. It's the most the most delusions I've had.
Disassociation.
Yes, it's like legitimately like a week would go by and I would be like, oh shoot, I gotta Mom, didn't you say I should take out the trash or do the dishes? It was something like a chore, and she's like, Zach, that was like 4 days ago. I was like. Oh my gosh. I was like, I thought you said that like this morning. It's just because I don't talk to anyone. That was the hardest part. Then I'm almost done with month 2. So next week I'll be done with month 2. And this month has been a little bit better. I'm getting used to it, but I'm not doing 10 hours a day. I'm doing like 8 now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to get through it, and then I should be okay. I've found a way that I've memorized all of the new information. I just need to review all the stuff I've already learned. And then take some practice tests, and then so the last month will just be practice.
And you'll be set for life.
Yeah, sure. My goal.
It's that easy.
I have a goal set in mind, so we'll see if I get that, and if not, then hopefully I'll be okay. And if not, then it's not the end of the world, like you said. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm glad I'm back to reality now. That was terrible.
Reality in motion.
Yeah, I'm never doing this again. Oh man.
You only do it once. Well.
No, I might have to do it again. We'll see. I'll have already learned it though. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Man. Well, I can't say that being sick was like that for me. 8 hours a day of doing nothing. It was tough. Yeah. It was really like started disassociating, being like, I thought I watched this movie this morning and I watched it 2 days ago.
Ben, that was 4 days ago, honey. What?
No, you know what cool thing I learned?
What?
While I was sick, I helped my mom cook some meals. And I learned a little bit about cooking. Now I might be able to make linguine and clam sauce.
Oh, you learned how to use the stove.
So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Fancy.
You like clams, actually?
Yeah.
I love
linguine
clams
and clam
so much.
sauce is so good.
I love clams. I've never had clam sauce.
Really good.
What is clam sauce?
It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, you get the linguine, you break it, you put it in if you're Italian, you don't break the pasta, but whatever. And then
sacrilegious.
And then there's a way we usually get canned clams, and you like separate the clams from the juice in the cans, and then you turn the juice and you pour it over the sauce, and then eventually you put the clams in after.
Man, my saliva glands are going crazy right now.
It's really good. It's very good. It's one of my mom's staple meals.
Okay.
I would have to say. So if I can learn how to make that, because I figured out that like if I want to eventually be a real adult one day.
If you want to be a husband, you better be somewhat useful.
I'm going to need to know how to cook to an extent. So I better learn a few things about it. I need to work on cutting. I've learned that I'm not that... My mom was trying to teach me how to cut, and then she probably is so good at it that she doesn't have to do it the right way. And then I'm bad at it, so I'm going to cut myself if I do it the way that she does it. It makes it hard to learn.
Yeah. Keep your thumb away from it, Ben, until you get good.
Yeah, you're right. I've already had enough knife accidents in my day. I have a scar here from a knife cut. So, you know, I've gone through stuff in life. You know,
Ben grew up in Compton, guys.
Straight out of the burbs.
Straight out of blank. Straight out of Iowa. Oh, wait, or California.
Straight out of Iowa. Crazy guy named Ben. Sometimes they'd even call him Ben 10 because he would just kill those aliens.
Oh, that was good. I mean, kind of. That was pretty good.
You know, well, before we started this, Zach was like, we should freestyle. And I was like, no, Zach, we will never do that. And then here we are.
I mean, Ben and I have a lot of photos where we could put on as an album cover.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. And then we should put the explicit thing, but it's like not. But then they're like,
This
the
is
moms
explicit. But actually, this is just so that it looks cool.
That's true. I mean, that's kind of how it is. We just put like one F word right in the middle
Isn't
of
that
the
funny?
last song.
Isn't that funny that like that's how it turned out? Like they made the explicit so like parents would know. Like, but then now it's like no, it's just like it's cool.
Well, yeah, kids just want what they can't have, you know.
Yeah.
And then once they get it, they want more. It's like gore.
Or vor.
Oh, yes, it's like gore. When will the vacuum swallow up next? Oh, vacuums actually swallow. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
Yeah, they do.
They're real life Vorians.
I don't want a vor person to be around my vacuum.
I'm gonna be
Think
a Vor
about
fan.
next time you drive down the highway, how many people could be into vor that you see?
Or serial killers. Think about how many times you've crossed a serial killer or a Vor fan. Which one's more? I don't know.
More like I don't know.
Ben, do you think there have been more people in this world? I don't think I should ask that. Okay, let me think of something else. Do you think in this world you've crossed more serial killers or okay. Do you think you've crossed more guys into anime or guys I don't know.
Zach's struggling here.
Do you have a better question that's not going to go left really quack? I said quack. Really quack.
I get the gist of the question you're asking. I'm just trying to. If you were gonna ask me like,
okay, let me just ask you:
more guys who are into anime or serial
what
killers?
percentage of guys are into anime?
Do you think it's like 20%?
I think it's higher than that.
Do you think there's undercover anime fans?
Oh yes, there are. I know a lot of them, and I'm not one of them, but I know a lot.
Because
of
like real macho dudes, like gym bros and stuff,
Yeah.
or like crypto nerds, they would, or like, they wouldn't be as likely to want people to know that they watch anime, right?
I don't know.
Who would be not? I wouldn't want people to know I watch anime, but I actually don't. I'm kind of kidding about that too. If I watch a good anime, I know it exists.
I mean, I've seen Death Note,
Yeah.
so I can't say I haven't seen anime, but they say like that's the best, like that's the one that everybody's seen, you know.
Right,
So I'm not really
yeah.
an anime fan, which I agree with. But
There's some like older anime movies that are, I forget, Miyazaki, I think this guy directed them. They're like Spirited Away and stuff. I would watch those, but they're like the Pixar of anime.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Back
it's
when
not-
Pixar was good.
Yeah, when Pixar, the heyday of Pixar.
2010s.
Yeah. That back-to-back run of Wall-E, Up, what was the other one? Anyway, there's a bunch of good ones. Finding Nemo earlier
Pete
on.
Docter, Brad Bird.
Anything Pete Docter did. has
Your
been
favorite's
good.
Finding Nemo, right?
Yeah, Finding
Yeah,
Nemo is my
that's
favorite.
mine too.
I think Finding Nemo and Soul and Toy Story 3, Up.
I like the fourth a lot.
Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Really?
I do.
I think 3 is still my favorite.
Yeah. The three, that one's cool because like they're all holding hands as they're about to die.
Yeah.
And it's like so sad. You're like, are my
It's such a
characters
good
actually going to
villain,
die?
too. Such a good villain.
Lotso's so good. Best Pixar villain,
Yeah.
right?
I would say so.
I mean, what else? What other villains are there?
Bruce the Shark.
No, he's kind of good.
See, and Finding Nemo, there wasn't really a villain. Like Time was the villain. Fatherhood was the villain.
Or that Barracuda in the beginning.
The bear. Yeah, okay, that guy. That guy was a mess. He killed all those babies and the mother.
Yeah.
Man.
That's why
soulless.
Nemo is so good because, I mean, you know this. You've said this. You probably said this on the podcast. But Nemo is about a father who loses his entire family, only has one child left, loses that child because of how overprotective he is. And his son, he becomes so overprotective as a father that he actually pushes his son away instead of keeping him close, you know? So, and then his son goes away on his own, gets lost, and then he's trying to find his only son. That's all he has left. And it's the struggles of parenting. I'm
Yeah.
not a parent, but that sounds like struggles that parents have.
It's that concept and the fact that it's just a beautiful movie that
Yeah.
make it just so good.
And the soundtrack is
And the
so
soundtrack.
calming.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That I listened to the soundtrack to fall asleep when I was little. It's probably why I like
Really?
it so much. Yeah.
Aw, Ben, you're so cute.
But then I would get scared when the because all the songs were like instrumental
Yeah.
until the final song. And so one night I woke up and it was playing. I forget what it was Beyond the Sea, and I was just, I don't know, for some reason it just bothered me and I just started crying. So that's kind of
Ben,
traumatic.
you're so deeply emotional.
I know. I'm a deeply emotional person
caused you
from
to-
childhood.
Caused you to cry. That's how artistic you are.
Yeah, it moved me to tears.
No, I'm just joking. No, anyway, yeah, no, Pixar, but yeah, no, that's true. Now we're Turning Red, worst Pixar movie ever.
Oh, all good things have to come to an end.
Yeah, but why all good things? And why all at once?
Everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Coming to an end.
True.
Into the giant everything bagel.
That's true. Yeah, and that's another parenting movie. It's an okay parenting movie.
It seems like that you can never make enough movies about parenting.
True. Because there's always going to be a plethora of parents as long as
And they're all going to face
coitus
the same
occurs.
which will, I guess, be forever.
Why did people say the word coitus? Like, what is that? Is that just how they talk about it in the science realm?
Yeah, is it more of a scientific term? Because I was
don't
thinking
know.
about that. I was like, who even...
Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory says it, so that's why I thought it's a
yeah,
scientific
it might be more... Definitely sounds weird.
Yeah, just don't look it up, anyone.
It was just nobody. Don't look it up.
Anyone. I mean, most people know what it is probably, but just in case. But yeah. Ben, before we end, what is your dream right now? What would be... We're both stressed in life. We're both busy. We've discussed that many times. We don't have to go over it anymore. What if you could just leave life right now and go anywhere, do anything, what would it be?
I just want to have... I want to be a traveling food critic.
Like from Ratatouille?
Yeah. Who went to amusement parks and rated the food and rode roller coasters and had a nice little family, and they could all come with me, and that'd be pretty nice, honestly. Because you think about other dreams, like you're like, oh well, what if I could somehow pick up guitar and all of a sudden I'm really good at it and now I'm in a band, but then that's so isolating, because a lot of times you travel, you're away from your family. It'd be nice to have something that you had your family with you. You're not just like alone on the road for 80 days or whatever.
They're going to come with you to amusement parks?
Yeah.
And try the
And
food
you just
with
do it for the summer. You make all your
Okay.
income, and then you do, maybe, I don't know, find some other kind of job to keep me occupied.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty
during
good. Amusement park food critic.
Yeah.
That
Or
sounds
just
good.
amusement park and food critic. This is
Just rotate each
combination.
day. One day you're at Applebee's giving a terrible
I
one-star
will be
review.
like, this sucks.
The next day you're at Cedar Point like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. How about you? Would you just pick what you're doing right now?
No, man, no.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd probably travel to Italy with my friends and go to coffee shops.
That would be awesome.
I think that would be peaceful, and I would still wake up early, but I would be excited for the day.
Yeah.
And I would wake up and I would go to the coffee shop in the morning, and I wouldn't be like, there would be no weight on my shoulders. I would just go in, get them, I don't know, cortado, just to wake me up.
They just say, mozzarella, Zach.
Shut up. No, I'm just joking. This is my dream. don't anthropomorphize my background characters, Ben. And my nameless coffee barista will make me a cortado, and I'll be looking off into the sea with my friends who don't have faces. I don't have to even make any cognitive thoughts about. And then I'd travel through the city and just walk around, maybe buy a shirt or two, wear a tank top all day because it's hot, and I don't know.
That sounds pretty nice.
I haven't thought about it that too long, so I think I only got to 10 a.m. But
But we know from our episode that we shouldn't pursue our dreams at all. So
true,
we're not going to.
That's never going to happen.
But how about, hey Phil, what's your dream?
Oh, a penguin tamer.
Penguin tamer. Well, he's saying that This sounds kind of ridiculous and stupid, Phil, but I mean, honestly, I thought you were a lot smarter of a person. But anyway, Phil was saying...
He's crying again. Ben, come on.
Anyway, Phil was saying that
he thinks you hate his haircut.
He wants to be a penguin tamer because penguins are such vicious animals and they need help being tamed. Like Mr. Popper's penguins.
Oh, yes. Oh, you don't like Jim Carrey, Phil? Oh, okay, sorry.
He only likes the book.
Oh, yeah, true. That movie sucked.
The book was all right. Actually, I don't know. I read the book when I was little.
Yeah.
All right, Phil. It's been a good episode, but we got to get back in the vault. Phil, no, you don't get to come in the vault, Phil.
No, Ben. It's just, Phil. It's just for me and Ben.
Yeah.
You don't know what Ben and I do in there.
Oh, he's crying again. This guy's so overly emotional.
Ben, what would you like to tell the audience what we do in the vault while nobody's here?
We pretty much just watch movies, right?
I guess
the whole time.
Yeah. What do we eat?
We eat the old DVDs. We're like converting our DVDs to Blu-rays, and we eat the DVDs.
We eat the DVDs of the movies we don't like.
Yeah, we've really come a long ways, like making our metaphors into like really wide sweeping fantasies. Really, you know, they're nice little.
I always picture we have a wall of VHS tapes and we still use a VHS player.
We still use a VHS player. We have like a popcorn machine.
I never thought of that. That's good. Ben, when we're rich one day, we're going to buy a vault and we're going to actually do our podcasts in there, okay?
Yeah.
In Italy.
In Italy.
And if that's not possible, then a vault here, right here in Iowa. Or California.
Or California. Wherever we actually are.
One or the other. I mean, they're right next to each other, so it could be either one.
Or Winnipeg.
That's true. Winnipeg, yeah. No, that's a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
All right. Let's all get to the vault.
No, not Phil.
All right. Let's close the door before Phil jumps in.